Ciao ragazzi, buongiorno, buongiorno a tutti, buonasera, wherever you are and whatever time it is in the world. Welcome back to Inter Worldwide. I hope that the image isn't too dark. I just refuse to put my really bright light above my head at the moment because I've just come back from work. It's been a long day and I want to relax with minimal light as possible because it's good for the brain. And I've got this awesome little LED light keeping me company from Debbie Kerr and the Kerr Mafia, and she's just come into the chat right now. So this little bit of extra light in the background is exactly what I needed to avoid having to use the big white lights. I don't know why when I moved into this house, we had to get some extra lighting. I don't know why we just went for bright white LED lights because they pierce the brain, but we never turn them on anyway. We just keep the corner lamps on everywhere, dim lights in the corners. And look at me talking about lamps in this video. What a loser. What's going on, Edson? Thanks for stopping by. Thank you to my friend Rino. Make sure you're checking out his channel, please. Raw, authentic Juve and Calcio opinions. And I'm glad he's here today because he's someone who will understand, because today is not personal. Today's not personal, but today was always going to happen if we did win the Scudetto. There was going to be a show exactly like this one. And best believe that there's an extended one coming for the Milan fans and the Milan club next in the episode as well. So the Full Circle Karma series was here to take prisoners. It was here to frustrate people, but all for a laugh at the same time. Rocking into worldwide merch as per usual. Link is in the description as well if you want to head over there. And I will be drawing out 2 winners of the actually it'll be more than 2, because I'll send one here and then I'll get Kurz to send 2 or 3 on me from Belfast. So we'll probably draw like 3 or 4 winners for a little few pieces of merch. Debbie, I'm going to touch base with you again soon because I've got something to ask you. But without further ado, I've been speaking in a reserved voice, but it's time to hype up. It is Full Circle Karma, episode 4. We have been around the block 3 times. Episode 1 was the toxins being removed holistically overall from your likes of Marcelo Brozovic to Milan Skriniar to Romelu Lukaku. Episode 2 was all about the redemption that is Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Campioni d'Italia. A nice little rub there for the Milan fans, the Milan players, and everyone associated with those celebrations. Only 2 what now seem very long years ago. Football-wise, life-wise, nothing could be further from the truth. I feel like the world's on speed, on times 1.5 at the moment, and has been for the last like 5 to 6 years. Pardon me. Episode 3 was all about Romelu Lukaku, the greatest trader I've ever seen come through this club. And yeah, it brings us here to episode 4, which wasn't necessarily on the cards as a whole. This episode could have been broken down into 2 or 3, but I figured, that would look too obsessive. It would look too obsessive to do one on Allegri, one on the players, and one on the fans. So I've decided to just go all in. Today is Full Circle Karma, episode 4, Juventus 2023-24. And it's a good day to do it because their season is borderline wrapped. They sealed Champions League qualification this morning. They drew 1-1 with Salernitana. Piss poor result. But he's going for sure. Yeah, he has to be going for sure. No one at the club anymore would be keeping him around after what they've seen. But I'll get to that soon. Good point. I'll get to that soon. So today's going to be very heavily focused on what Rino just said, because he is the biggest root cause of this disaster of a campaign that was had by our biggest rivals. It's an absolute shit show of a campaign. It's the sort of season where I always try to think like this. What would happen if this was happening to us? What would happen if this was happening to us? Oh, well, mate, we'd be getting spanked. We'd be getting spanked online. We'd be getting spanked everywhere. So it's only right. It's only right that it happens this way. Okay, so let's start right at the top. We start the season optimistic on 2 sides, for Inter fans and for Juve fans. What's going on, Nick Knox? Good to see you. My member, coming in hot. This is what's going down. And we'll start with Allegri and the initial phase of the season where I personally picked them to finish second. I probably said they would come first because as a joke every season, it's not really as a joke, it's for real. My PTSD always puts them first at the start of every season. I said, look, I said the same things that their fans were saying. They've got 1 game a week. Inter's got Champions League. Inter got drawn into a Champions League group where, they're probably not going to find it too easy, even though, in my opinion, it was an easy group when it was drawn. And, Romelu Lukaku is not coming back. And apparently it was because of Giuntoli, which we've already done an episode on Romelu Lukaku and Giuntoli. So there's no Giuntoli in this conversation here. So you've got trader Romelu Lukaku and Giuntoli's little phone call. So basically we know that a core strategy for Juve was to disrupt Inter's Mercato. That's fine. That's not new. They've been doing this to us since Beppe Marotta came to us. A lot of the time, if you really want to know Juve's transfer strategy, just make sure you're in the know with our news and you'll know the ricochet effect. Because that will happen. Big time. A lot of people are quick to talk about Marotta failing to sign Samasic once. They don't bring up the 2 times Juntoli went in for him afterwards. Albeit, with the squad that they started the season with, Max Allegri was pretty keen on getting the desired points that he needed to challenge for the title. I don't think it's fair to say that he or anybody at the club could have foreseen 2 incidences. I need to make sure I get the player right because I screw this up a lot. I keep saying it's Rovella, but it's not. It's Fagioli. So you've got Pasta Fagioli with his gambling problem, and you've got Paul Pogba with his drug problem. And these 2 incidences are not Max's fault. They're not the club's fault. They're not the director's fault. It's pretty much an individual blame on both things here, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I know it's very quick to put the finger at Juve as a club for what they handled the Pogba situation, whatever. To me, you blame Pogba for being Pogba. You blame Fagioli for being Fagioli. 2 vices, 2 dopamine depleters in gambling and drugs. It's pick your poison. Jallo was just the last target that they've snaked from our sort of interest and not known what to do with it. Yeah? Keep him like, bro, if they end up selling Bremer this market for what's rumored to be, apparently they'll let him go for 65 million. Mate, they might only make subpar because they've still got to pay Torino 10%. If they sell him for 65 million, they'll pay Torino 6.5, which means they make 57.5. They bought him for 45. If you're telling me they only make 12.5 million on Bremer, that is fucking disgusting. There's no other way to talk about it. That's the sort of stuff that should get people sacked. Bremer, I'll still hold my hand up and say it. He's a top 3, probably top 2 center back in the league. You know, he's going to be playing for Brazil in this coming, is it the, I don't know what they call it, man. What's the CONMEBOL tournament again? Is it the Libertadores? No, that's the club. The Copa America. He'll be playing for them in the Copa America. He'll be their starting center back for sure, unless the coach really wants to start Marquinhos at his age. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But then again, I'm not very well versed on the Seleção at the moment. I've got no idea what the Seleção's doing. I haven't been following their form. I haven't been following their players. If you asked me to pick half of Brazil's squad, I could probably pick a quarter of the half. I wouldn't have a clue. In my head, Roberto Firmino is still striking for the Seleção, but it can't be. Surely Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. are leading that front line. There's 35 people with me right now on Inter Worldwide, which is awesome. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, retweet if you're on Twitter, do all that funny stuff. So we start the season, a couple of scandals in, but we know that it's going to be a 2-way battle. It's going to be a 2-way battle. I say that because Milan starts their season poorly under Pioli. Form-wise is... Say what? Why? That can't be right. How can there be that many better Brazilian center backs? Who are they starting? Thiago Silva? Darian, can you do me a solid, bro? Can you let me know who starts at center back ahead of Bremer for the national team? Because if that's the case, then that really should have been in this fucking slideshow. That's karma that surprised me. I don't know if I believe you, Darian. Bremer isn't in the Brazil squad. Come on. A number of league stars left out by coach. 17-year-olds make the cut. Beraldo, Militao, Gabriel. Okay, Militao and Gabriel. I kind of forgot about them. Danilo. What the hell? What is going on? What is going on? Who is... Bro, forget... Bro, Juve fans, you got away with this video for a few minutes. You want to know why? Because you can take a break. We're not cooking Juve for about 120 seconds. So go pisciare, go get a drink of water, go say hi to your kids. We'll be right back with the Juve slanter. Who is this manager? Dorival Jr. I've heard the name plenty of times. Oh my God, he looks like a wanker. Senior career, played for about 26 years. Biggest club he's played for on the list so far is Palmeiras. Palmeiras never left Brazil, 124 games. Managerial career, Cruzeiro, Santos, Mineiro, Internacional, Flamengo, Fluminense, Palmeiras, Santos, Sao Paulo, Flamengo, Sao Paulo. All the biggest clubs in Brazil. What's his accolades list like? This fucking fraud right here. I think he's won a couple of leagues. Won a couple of things with Santos. I don't see anything on here with Palmeiras. I don't see anything on here with Mineiro. He won the Copa do Brasil last year with Sao Paulo. This has got to be his claim to fame here after winning the Libertadores with Flamengo in 2022. So he's won the accolades in Brazil. My goodness. Yeah, they didn't get Ancelotti, so they got him instead. Anyway, that was a nice little side link out. I get that he might not be able to play in a 4, but he's still decent enough to play in a 4 ahead of some of those players. You take him to the squad and in the tournament. You definitely take him. You take him to the tournament, bro. That's good. I usually prefer Brazil to win in these tournaments. You know, between them and Argentina, it's hard to decide sometimes. Hard to decide, but anyway, I won't be upset if that coach flops. Back to the reason why we're here. Pure Juve slander. Inzaghi up against Allegri for season 23-24. Pioli, the fraud. We all know he's not going to make the run that we need. Mourinho is not going to ever be a league manager again. Sarri looks like he wanted to quit Lazio yesterday, although the last two sides I've mentioned would never make a Scudetto run anyway, probably not for as long as I live again. That's slack, but that's a little bit of slide slander there. And then you've got last year's champions, who are the biggest surprise package of the season so far. Spalletti leaves. Straight away off the bat, we know that Garcia is not the right choice. He's going to get sacked very soon. Napoli are out of the Scudetto race before it even starts. They're out of the Scudetto race before it starts. So it is neck and neck between these two guys. It's neck and neck between these two guys. And as soon as it becomes about these two, it becomes not personal, but you can tell that there's a lot of clout and ego attached to it now. It's an old school run. It's an old school race. It's Inter versus Juve for the Scudetto, and everyone can see it. No one's denying it. Bologna are third, Zun. Yes, they are. Thanks for coming through. The season starts. Both sides have good starts to the season. Both sides put away the majority of their opponents straight away. On our side, we had slips with Bologna and Sassuolo. On their side, I actually can't remember off the top of my head, but they slipped an extra once or twice ahead of us. And, you know, we're pretty much maintaining a one-game lead at this point. There's 44 people with me right now on Inter Worldwide, which is great. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and share it around if you enjoy this sort of content. I would really, really, really appreciate it. 1-1. Against Juve in the first game in Turin. And, you know, I felt good coming out of that game with a point. It was disappointing, obviously, not to win because you always want to win. But coming out of Turin with a draw, and this is around about the time where Nick Knox brings up a great point. Juve tried to act like underdogs when they had Europe. They tried to act like underdogs all season. Only a few of their fans upheld the standards that need to be upheld. You play 38 calendar matches domestically this season, bar your Coppa Italia, and no European football. How dare you say with chest that you didn't come into this season wanting to at least challenge for the Scudetto? That's not normal for a Juve fan to say. And for the Juve fans who went into this season saying, oh, the goal is to only make top 4 and not challenge for the league, that's bullshit. Because for as long as you can see your opponent next to you, as a Juve fan, you should always be saying that you win the league. And if I'm saying this and you disagree with me, then your standards have plummeted very far. I do keep saying in a serious tone of voice, the last of your core values walked out of the door with Giorgio Chiellini. Before him, Buffon. Before him, Andrea. Before him, a host of others. The once strong DNA, there's no identity attached to this badge for these players. And this is why, up until the disaster that was this season, Max Allegri was probably still the best man for the job, because he was the last little bit of Juve DNA steering the ship and presenting it from plummeting. But there's only so long a captain cannot steer it effectively, man. You know, you can't be an underdog playing once a week. Not this side. Not this side. Not with the lineup that they had as well. I know it's easy to look at this Juve team now and say, oh, well, we don't have the best players. Well, mate, at the start of the season, there was a graphic going around. Thank you, Zia. Appreciate it, my G. There was a graphic going around at the start of the season on Twitter and on Facebook. And the title was, and it was from a big site as well. It was from like Bleacher Report or something, or BR Football, whatever they're called now. And it said, Juventus are just quietly building a squad to win the Champions League. This was at the end of last season before they received the ban, basically. Then obviously the ban comes out. But they've still got a squad very similar, if not identical, to that graphic. Vlahovic, Chiesa, Pogba, Locatelli, Bremer, Danilo, and Szczesny. And that apparently, Rabiot, was good enough. Why not? We'll go back to this in a second. We draw this game. It's a pretty good game, I got to say. I didn't mind it. I thought it was exactly what you expect two title rivals to do in their first fixture of the season. Really try and see if they can pinpoint the weaknesses that their manager has told them to pinpoint throughout the week. But I thought that Inter controlled the ball well in this game. I think it was the start of the nerves of our fans where we were a little lackluster in the final third, getting that end product to our forwards. But also, any point out of Turin has to be accepted. I haven't heard from Amanzi in time. How are you? How are you, man? It is so good to hear from you. So good to hear from you. I love the second star in your title. It's popping. It's popping, man. They were threatening to take the Scudetto up to January. Absolutely. Oh, don't worry. Stick around for the slideshow. I got you. There's over 50 people here. There's 56 people here. That's awesome. Like the video. Subscribe if you are new. Share it. Let me know if you enjoy it. I think Motta can change this Juve side if he joins them. Well, of course, he'll change them. He'll change what disaster class this is at the moment. I'm wondering what if Lukaku really joined Juve and witnessed us winning the league? Well, he'd probably be on depression watch, but that could be a whole different season. You never know. How will Juve do in UCL? I think Juve will finish bottom in the new format. So wait, that format, does that come in next season or the season after? I thought we had one more season of group stage left. Are we already moving towards that bomb format of Champions League? I don't think people are going to enjoy it. Shit. I reckon it only takes for one season, bro. I reckon it only takes for one season, and then people will want the old format back. That's shit, everyone. Everyone's bombing the chat saying it's next season. That is absolute wank. That's horrible. Oh, well, I guess this really will be a recollection of who is the strongest team in Europe. You know, I love seeing those Europe table graphics that some of the social outlets upload, where it says like Inter's the most successful team in Europe this season because we've got the most points. And, you know, it's us and then Leverkusen and then Madrid and then City. You know, we just might be able to match it with some of these clubs if we take it seriously enough. If we take it seriously enough, we just might be able to finish in the top 3 or 4 of this tournament. And how good would it be to officially be able to stand up at the end of that campaign and go, fuck, man, we finished third. We finished second. Hell, bro, we might actually finish first. This team's got it in them. But anyway, yes, let's keep it real and let's keep it slandering the Juve fans in this one. All right, like the video, subscribe if you are new. And that brings us to this point here. And now we can really start to throw shade. Now we can really throw some Molotov cocktails into their compounds, run out and let it blow up. This is where they were after match day 21. You want to keep it real, Zia? Let's keep it fucking real for a second. This is where they were on match day 21. 16 wins, 4 draws and a loss, with 5 matches, 5 wins in a row, first in Serie A with 17 games left. If you can find me one Juventus fan on planet Earth that knows this scenario but doesn't know the end result yet and says that they should only be finishing top 4, I will personally cancel this channel. I will never do a video again. Why? Because they would be lying to you. They would be lying to you through their mouth, teeth, ego. They are the biggest club in the country. I don't have an ego big enough to not pretend that. I can admit it. My team is not the biggest. It's the 3rd biggest. I know. Oh my God, woe is us. Woe is us. Oh no, we're not the biggest club in the country. Bro, we don't give a shit. As Inter fans, we are not programmed to think this way. We are Inter and that's that. We are Inter fans and that's that. We will go into every season knowing that we are in love with the pain and in love with the suffering of supporting this club, even if we don't admit it. We are sick individuals. But you guys have it plastered on your gym wall that winning is not the most important thing. It is all that matters. Well, I hope that they have ripped that sign off the walls in Continassa and stored it away in a locker for someone who knows the value of that statement to come and get next. Because at the moment, it is a disgrace. Would I want Anthony Martial on a free? I was a fan of Anthony Martial. I was a fan of Anthony Martial at Manchester United for his first few years. I've even got the jersey, the gold 3rd jersey with him on the back. But he's too injury prone, Anad. But then again, so is Joaquin Correa. He didn't score a goal at all at Marseille. He didn't provide an assist at all, I don't think, either. All he did was score a penalty in a shootout. I was hoping he missed. How often are we hearing you only won thanks to Allegri after sealing the Scudetto? Mate, the thing is that Allegri's tactics got them to this point, Iman. Match day 21, 52 points. He was doing a really good job at this point. I don't think anyone could have foresaw what was coming. At this point in time, Milan are sub 6 points from us, 7 from them. We obviously have the game in hand and a chance to go 3 games ahead of Milan. So like I said at the start of the video, Milan are not showing the tooth, the nail, the fight to challenge either of us. Now, I'm pretty sure at this point in time, we're in January, meaning the Milan versus Juve game has already taken place where Juve beat them 1-0. And I remember when they beat them 1-0, I was a little worried. I thought, shit, I would have preferred Milan to win this, even though Milan were 2 points ahead of Juve at the time, I think. Just something told me, I don't want to go toe-to-toe with this Juventus team. They don't have any Europe. This ladder, this reflection here of being where they were at this point of the season is an absolute disgrace in comparison to where they finish. And then this happens. And this is where we don't need to be polite as fans. Fuck being polite. You want to act like a smart C word. You want to act like a cocky, absolute peasantry human being. This is exactly what someone with deep-rooted insecurities and low self-esteem would say. And I don't need to have studied psychology for the better half of 9 years to know that it's not healthy behavior. For those of you that don't know, Max Allegri made a couple of stupid statements right before it went tits up at Juventus this season. The first one was comparing us to Djokovic while comparing him and Juve to Sinner. If anyone is a tennis fan, they will know that the Grand Slam, the Australian Open, actually, man, you really want Australia to take the spotlight once a year? I swear to God, the Australian Open gets more attention than anything in this country overseas. It's our greatest export that's not exporting shit. Sinner versus Djokovic for the final. Obviously, Sinner doing Italy extremely proud. And Max Allegri goes to say, no, we are more like Sinner, not like Djokovic. And to be honest, these sort of statements, in a sense that trying to portray that, you know, we're the innocent ones. We're not the favorite, that's for sure. We're the chasers. We're chasing the pack. We're the underdog here. Humble are us, the sinners of this world. And then he goes on to double down, triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down, sextuple down, whatever you want to call it. If there is someone in front, there is someone behind chasing, like in cops and robbers. The thieves run and the guards chase. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. I don't think anyone's going to take a Juventus coach seriously that says that after the track record that is your club. And yeah, I'm allowed to say stuff like that. And if anyone's watching and you're really getting cranky, even if you do like me, sorry, man, don't come out and say shit like this if you don't expect us to return serve 1,000,000 times harder. You're fresh out of fucking court last year, mate. You literally, I can still smell the justice system on you. And you go and say stuff like this. How do you expect to be taken seriously as an individual unless you can really back it up and back it up by winning the Scudetto? Well, mate, it took you until match day 37 to qualify for the Champions League. You were how many points clear at this point? We knew at this point that Italy was getting a fifth spot. So his margin to sixth at this point is 19 points. I think it grew as far as about 24, 26. That's how many points they were safe on a Champions League spot. They just got there about 12 hours ago, half a day ago. On Monday, May 13, 2024, Juventus qualified for the UEFA Champions League after being in this position on match day 21 in January. I'm going to say that again, just in case anyone's watching who's got clippy fingers. I don't do that. I don't clip my own stuff and put it online. But if anyone's got clippy fingers, it would be at this point of the video. Keep in mind that today, Monday for me, or Sunday, wherever you are, the 13th of May, 2024, Juventus qualified for the UEFA Champions League mathematically after being in this position in January. Bro, that is scary stuff. Is it January or like last week, December? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. It's a blur to me now. We jog on, gang. We jog on. I'm enjoying this one. 62 people are here, so it mustn't be falling on deaf ears, that's for sure. If you are enjoying the content, subscribe if you are new, and please consider becoming a channel member if you want. I don't do too much members only content though, so sorry about that. But I'm trying to keep the content as consistent as possible on this channel. Which player from Man U except Onana? Why are we talking about Man United so much? Even me as a United fan, I don't want them. I don't want that poison toxicity in this video right now. But to be honest, I could do a video on it. I could definitely do a video on it. That's for sure. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. If someone wants to remind me again, I'll keep that in mind because I think it could make for a good stream because I think I could bring something to that sort of video. Anyway, Allegri, the piece of shit. What a wanker. Moving on. The next, the reverse fixture comes around, and obviously the hype around this one is like proper big. The hype around this one is absolutely huge. This is ready for blood. We are ready, bro. We are so ready for this one. The return fixture at the San Siro when Juventus comes to us is fucking, oh my days. I wanted to win this game more than anything in the world. More than anything in the world. I was a mess the night before. I was a mess the morning of this game. I was refreshing the chat every 2 seconds. I had people talking to me on this Forza Inter Forums WhatsApp chat, literally keeping me posted by the 10-second mark in the last 2 minutes. Corner here, ball here, there, throw in here, 2 minutes 40 remaining, 2 minutes 30 remaining. Everyone was doing their bit. And when I saw the word finita and FT come up on the chat, it was the first feeling, the first real feeling of, holy shit, we are fucking going for the Scudetto. We are going hard for this one. We want it. We want it. We want it more. We want it more. That was when I started to believe it was on for all money. Boy, was it on for all money for us after that. And the polar opposite for them. It was the end. The end. Empoli 1-1 before that. 1-1 before that. But this was the end. The brutal end. I didn't think it was the end at the time because you know me, Captain Pessimistic PTSD, looking at our fixture list going, hell, man, we're going to drop points in about 8 games from here to the end of the season. That was not meant to be. That was not meant to be. Oh, you know it, bro. 100%. I do not shy away from being petty. I do not shy away from being shameless. Bro, I live in Sydney, Australia. I have no access to the world of football and the world of European football and content creation. This is all I got, Wando. And I appreciate you for being here, man, because you're a real one. Because when I send it out like this, I expect to get it a million times worse. A million times worse. I've just got to cash these receipts that I'm holding on to. I've got to cash them, man, because I got too many of them. Too many of them, my G. But thank you for coming through. And I promise it's nothing personal. Oh, and watch it back. Watch it back if you just came through. Game ends well. We win 1-0. I think bricklayer, construction, blockhead, mofo, Gatti has like an absolute... is he actually an Inter fan? I highly doubt it. But yeah, he scores an own goal in this fixture. He had like a few good games this season, and their fans were saying like this is the heir to Giorgio Chiellini. Yeah, the heir to Giorgio Chiellini, who came through the academy at a young age. His heir is a 25-year-old construction blockhead. No worries. No worries, bro. No worries, Juve fans. You keep your standards nice and high. Yes, sir, we need to be petty. We got shit on all season. Got to go after all the seasons. Bro, we get shit on in our own season that we're winning the league. All of them talking about our finances and stuff like that. Look at what we've had to cop the last few years and even before that in our banter era. You know? The Juve fans are trying to make sure that we can't ever be happy even if we win. But we need to be happy and we need to be petty because at the end of the day, I'm not stupid. Football comes in cycles. And as an Inter fan, we are used to short cycles. We are not used to lengthy cycles. So this cycle could burn soon. And we're all ready for it. We're ready for this cycle to burn at any point. Hold it, Juve fans, because when your cycle comes around, I have no doubt you will be sitting there stroking it for many years. Hey, brother Tim. Make sure you watch it back, bro, because you are going to love this. You've missed 35 minutes of good Juve slander. Coming out, what are you doing in NZ, bro? Is it like holidays again for school, or are you on an excursion with the kids? That would be dope. Yeah, good goal, good performance. Thuram claims it, but it's blockhead construction worker who scores an own goal, drops a brick in his own goal, spills what's it called? What the hell is it called? The wheelbarrow. Spills the wheelbarrow. Poor guy. It's all right, Gatti. Got nothing. And then to end today's lovely stream and slander session, you can say that I lie. You can say that people lie. You know, men lie about shit and women lie about plenty, as Lil Wayne says. But then he goes on to say, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Stats don't lie. Look at these score lines. Look at this run of form in between the 27th of January and the 12th of May. What did we do, Edson? What did we do to these guys? Because it was bad after this. Udinese, I was calm when they lost this game. I remember just checking the score and going, oh, we're on here, boys. Something that hasn't happened for a while is happening. It's the winds of change. The changing of the guard happened a couple of years ago, but now we're seeing the evidence and the proof of which was the changing of the guard, which was probably around the time Alexis Sanchez scored in the 95th minute in the Super Copa final. That was the changing of the guard. And that's what Richard Hall said on this channel when I had him on for a podcast, which is a while ago now, around about that time. The Udinese result, I didn't jump in my living room screaming. It was the Verona result that really got me itching, because when they didn't win this game, we had just come off the back of winning, 2 in a row after beating them. And we were in red hot form. Like, we knew that, okay, it's actually hell for leather at this point. Sorry, I just want to give Wando the floor because he's a respectful rival that's coming in and he deserves to have his comment up straight away. You guys did beat us and can claim you ended it. Yep. 3 months. Yeah, very good point. And when you guys got to think about it, watching this video, you guys got to think there's probably a whole bunch of Juve fans being very honest with each other behind the scenes who have known after watching the football this season that they're not going to end up going toe-to-toe for the distance. Us as Inter fans, we had to say it. We need to think it. We need to expect it. You Juve fans have earned that from us. We are post-traumatically stressed. I will always think that you're coming for us if it's feasible. Always. But I have no doubt that people like you, because, I'm very, I talk a fair bit with Alejandro from the Bianconeri zone, and he knew all along you weren't going to challenge for the league, even when you were 1 point away. But he will admit and hold his hand up and go, we should be going for it. We should be challenging for it. But then if you ask him properly, do you think you're going to go? He'd be like, no. Allegri sucks. The team plays like shit. They'll drop points. Because there were games like that return fixture against Hellas Verona where you scored it with the very last kick of the game. Monza as well, I think. Was it Monza at the start of the season where I think they equalized, but then you scored again? There were a couple of times where they should have dropped points. We got away with a couple of games ourselves, as you do. Let's move on. Frosinone, I believe that one was also like a late winner as well, maybe like very close to stoppage time. And then it's a shit show. It's a shit show for the whole month. The month of March is where, the Scudetto's already gone by that point, but the month of March is where you go, everybody hold our beer. Not only are we giving away the Scudetto, like we're gonna really tank this season now. We're doing a proper bodge job. Like we look like an NBA team who found out they couldn't make the playoffs and really wants to go for a draft pick now. It's really bad. It's a bad tank job, man. Lost to Napoli, 2-1 in Naples, 2-2 in Turin to Atalanta, 0-0 in Turin to Genoa, 1-0 away to Lazio to close out the month. You come back and finally snap the streak with a 1-0 win against Fiorentina, but that was the last time we saw Juve win a game in Serie A. It was the 7th of April. It's the fucking 13th of May, bro. It's the 13th of May. And like, I'm even talking now in a tone of disappointment. Like I'm talking to my students who have just gotten caught again. Like this is disgraceful from a side who's supposed to at least make a respectable run for the title. It's disgraceful for a Juventus side in general. And whether it's the derby, Dalla Mole, horrible result against Cagliari, spineless against Milan, even though Scudetto's wrapped up by that point, you guys still had to try and qualify for the Champions League as soon as possible. And that date just kept getting delayed until this morning. And guess what? You had no merit in qualifying anyway. Not on your own hand. 1-1 against a side who was already relegated, playing their reserves. Quite possibly the worst Serie A team in history. I think Crotone will worst run season. But yeah, Wando comes back again. I don't understand why people thought Juve would win with no changing coach and just bringing in Weah. Yeah, very true. Compare the ambition to Inzaghi, who made the UCL final plus Scudetto challenge. But at the end of the day, man, why do you think I'm creating this video? I'm returning serve because, I just got a reply to a lot of Juve fans that had their chest. And to be honest, if you go back and watch the video, a lot of it comes down to your manager as well. I don't like Allegri as well. I find him to be a very arrogant, obnoxious human being. I think he piggybacked on the success of Marotta and Antonio Conte and kept, using the success of Marotta to build a squad formidable enough in a weak Serie A to dominate. And I think you're now seeing him for what he truly is, which is a bang average manager that can only play cortomuso, catenaccio sort of football, and not an effective brand of it as well, because he doesn't motivate for the longevity on the pitch. So, but respect for you again for coming in here. We got 67 people watching this video right now, which is awesome. We've been going for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 2 wins out of 15, and still got Champions League, man. Absolutely. So, lucky that they did get those wins towards the end of the season. Lucky they got those wins at the start of the season. Otherwise, it just would have been awful. Guys, this was another edition of Full Circle Karma. We have gotten through 4 episodes. So I could effectively end the series here and it's a success, because 4 episodes is 4 episodes. That's fine. But I know that we're enjoying it. If you're enjoying Full Circle Karma and you're here right now, you need to leave a comment for me right now. I want you to say... Todd. My G. My brother. Oh man, you're so much quality, bro. Inter and Inzaghi need to be taken seriously in Serie A and Europe. Because I can see you guys representing the league for years. Thank you, bro. We need to be taken seriously. We need to, more importantly, Z, we need to take ourselves seriously, because we are in a position where we can now build a semi-dynasty. If we can just keep kicking the can down the road financially while finding loopholes in the Italian system, because at the end of the day, we're sitting on a massive amount of debt, privately owned debt. It's all good. Just let me close out the stream in peace, my G. But I do think that we are possible of starting something, where we can keep winning trophies and keep this extended run of success, which started with Antonio Conte and is still going. It didn't stop, because being able, don't be sorry, my bro, don't be sorry at all. I'm loving it. Because when you win the league and the next season win the Supercoppa and the Coppa, that's still a continued run of success. And then the season after that, you win the Supercoppa and the Coppa. It's still a continued run of success, because you built it with a major trophy. It's not like it was Supercoppa, Coppa Italia, Supercoppa, or it was not like it was like Scudetto, trophyless season, zero titoli again, and now we win the Scudetto again. It's Scudetto, Supercoppa, Coppa, Supercoppa, Coppa, Scudetto, Supercoppa. You know what I mean? It's a continued run of success that we are on, and we need to continue this, because it needs to come in the form of a major trophy next season, in my opinion. It has to be. Ian says it's about Juve. It should be about 1 hour long. Cuz, for Ian and Debbie Kirk, consider it done, bro. 13 minutes. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go another 13 minutes. And that's literally for them. Literally for them. Thanks to the 67 people that are here right now. It's been very, very enjoyable. And a big shout out to Wando. People, give Wando his flowers. Yeah? His nice flowers, not his banter flowers. Big up, Wando. Coming into the chat, respectfully accepting my slander, because it is, it wouldn't be easy to hear this. I'm sure he wants to say other things. All I'm saying is, in the summer, Allegri will go surely. Oh, I mean, you have to ask serious questions of your club if he's not going. Hopefully the team changes a lot. Serie A needs Thiago Motta versus Inzaghi, like Pep versus Klopp. I really hope that Serie A, with its higher representation in Europe, if Italy can at least maybe get to the quarterfinals as well of the Euro. I mean, I don't have very high hopes for our beloved Azzurri, but I mean, if they can get it to the quarterfinals, then Italy sort of stays on the map here. And if Fiorentina or Atalanta, even if just one of them can sneak one of those European trophies, we've got our coefficient spot for a reason. My brother, what's going on, man? Good to see you here. All the best for your travels to London, you and Debs and the fam. If we can just maybe if Italy can get one of these European competition trophies, have a half-decent run in the Euro, then we can see the resurgence that we're looking for, Wando. I don't think Italian football is in the pits as much as we first thought. I think that there's a real opportunity for there to be some good investment into this league as well. But there has to be passion, and people need to want it to be successful again. It's great that Como are up from Serie B with a club co-owned by someone like Cesc Fabregas, and a major shareholder is Thierry Henry and his buddies. That's great, but we need more. We need more. Coppa is a nice trophy. The last time Milan won a Coppa was, Jesus Christ, have they gone 20 years without winning the Coppa Italia? They should want that. They should want that cup. They should be aiming to win that cup. They need that trophy. It's a good feeling. I love winning the Coppa Italia. What's going on, Massimo? Good to see you, my brother. You're going to have to rewind this one, bro. It's been 45 minutes of glorious Juve slander. That would be great, bro. I'm hoping Atalanta wins the Europa as well. I'm hoping Atalanta have got 2 trophies left in them. Definitely. Definitely. So we need Italy to be back on the map. We need Italy to be back on the map big time. And I think it's done very well the last few years. And I'll hold our hand up and say very largely thanks to us. Very largely thanks to us. When Inter wins, it looks beautiful. Look at the way that we paint this city, bro. We look better when we're on top. We really do. And I hope it lasts another couple of years. Italy needs a major European trophy again. Yeah, not the Conference League. I'm going to have to agree with that one there. It is the Mickey Mouse Cup. And, you know, God forbid Inter was to ever fall into a banter era again. Or, you know, if God forbid next season that you keep Allegri and fall into a position outside 6th, then you need to actually turn into an NBA side and tank the season, because I don't think I could ever watch Inter in the Conference League. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. I really couldn't do it, Wando. It wouldn't be right. The season would have to just be a pure vacay at that point. So Italy's going to take a decent squad to the Euro, jam-packed with Inter players. Our boys will highly represent, from Di Marco to Acerbi, Barella, Bastoni, Darmian, Fratesi. And that's it. That's it. For Juve, who are the Juve players that will represent Italy? Chiesa will go. Locatelli will go. Gatti. Is Gatti selected for the squad? I hope not. He's fucking average. I swear to God he is, bro. Wonder, you guys need to stop putting him on a pedestal and stop thinking that he's the answer to your defensive things, bro. Gatti's not it. Man United or Chelsea will probably be there. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to think about that. If Donnarumma remains as a starting goalkeeper for Italy, I won't have high expectations for the Azzurri in the upcoming Euro. Yeah, well said. He can be problematic on his best days. You know, his move to PSG was always going to be a poor one, because you can't really improve as a player at Paris. Can you? Can you improve at PSG? Who's improved at PSG? Who's gone to PSG and then some other club in the world was like, oh my God, let's buy him for even more than the French bought them for because they're so good? Doesn't happen in that order. It happens in reverse order. Are we talking about one of the worst centre backs today? Gatti? Yeah, he sucks. Sucks ass. Should Barella be the Italy captain? Bro, why not? Give Barella the armband. I don't think he should be the captain for Inter, although he's shown such growth in the last stage of this season. But for him to get the armband for Italy, it would be an honor for us as Inter fans, I think, to see him captain the Azzurri. I'm just trying to picture him captain the Azzurri, and it already looks beautiful. It already looks amazing. It would be awesome if he was the captain. It really would. What else can we talk about to close this video out? I'm not going to reveal what my last two. Yeah, Wando agrees. Yeah, Wando is a real one. He's not going to sit here and feel like, you know, he's seen it all. He's seen his team on top. The logo in his picture suggests that. He's not going to sit here and try and pretend that Gatti is the sort of caliber centre back that they need to return to top level. Let's just talk a little bit of. Oh yeah. Back when I was very, very young, like in primary school and before that, 100% when they were still considered a European feeder club, absolutely. But since they've been taken over in the Qatari realm of things, Ian, they are no longer a selling club. They are a purchasing club. That's for damn sure. Let's quickly just go for the Serie A table and fixtures so we can close out this season, basically, because I'm pretty sure the relegation fight is now just down to the last match between. Oh, actually, no. We've still got something on our hands here, relegation wise. Sorry, that's not done yet. That's actually, yeah, that's nowhere near done yet. I thought we were down to the last 3 sides, 3 or 4, but we are not. We are down to more. We will share this slide for the people to see. All right, let's do it. So we'll start with the bottom with Salernitana already relegated. God, Juve is shit. Sassuolo, 29 points. Udinese with their game in hand still on 30. Who do they play? Udinese play Lecce tomorrow at 2:30 in the morning. Lecce should be safe already by my count. Lecce are safe. They are on 37 points with the maximum of points that Udinese can get being 39, but the maximum that Sassuolo can be 35. Lecce are safe in Serie A. Yes, they are. I believe so. Empoli can still get 38. All right. Lecce are not mathematically saved yet from Serie A, but they have their game in hand. So just don't lose that game. If Lecce lose to Udinese, Atalanta, Napoli, fuck, they're not safe yet. Not completely anyway. Their fans must still be nervous. Udinese, on the other hand, would need to go. See, Udinese, I think I may have... We said this in a previous stream, didn't we? We've said this already. Udinese can actually focus and say, if we win our next 3 games, 3 wins, Lecce, Empoli, Frosinone, there is still a 50-50 chance we survive the drop here. And that's really weird to say considering the position they're actually in, because they're in an awful position. But Udinese can still survive this drop. Empoli need to be shitting themselves because they have Roma in their last game. This relegation fight is absolute peak still. This is nowhere near done. Frosinone should have played better against us. Monza and Udinese. Yeah, bro. We could be looking at some final day jitters. Final day jitters. We are still 13th place down to 19th place is not decided yet. Not decided at all. Very interesting. Sassuolo play Cagliari. When is this game? Oh, 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday. Mario Delgado, thank you for the news. Sassuolo and Cagliari. We might do a watch-along on this channel to that game. A relegation watch-along between Sassuolo and Cagliari. Who is going to be relegated? Fuck, that will be peak. I love Serie A. I love Serie A. Well, that's going to be fantastic. Verona as well can't be too assured that they're safe, although they'd be really shit to get relegated from here. They play Inter on the last day. They should beat Salernitana next week, though, or at least get a point out of it, which would virtually put them in the clear, because not all of these sides below can obviously win. They can't actually win. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to decide. Relegation weekend battle upcoming. Let's have a look at the match day. So we got 37 coming up. Lecce play Atalanta, Sassuolo against Cagliari, and Udinese Empoli. If either of these sides can get the 3 points, they'll virtually fancy their chances of surviving the drop. They will. If it all ends up in square draws, could be a problem. Because Sassuolo won't be playing for a draw. Udinese won't be playing for a draw. I think if you're a betting person, which I am when it comes to Serie A, you should pick a 1 or 2 in this game. I don't think you're going to see draws in these games. They'd be dead results, dead rubber results. pick a winner or pick a 1 or 2 if the double chance option is there for Sassuolo Cagliari or for Udinese Empoli. Don't pick a draw, and don't pick a double chance 1x or 2 or x2. Don't pick a double chance Sassuolo or draw. Don't pick a draw. Pick a winner, or pick the fact that there has to be a winner. When was the last time Udinese won a game? I don't see the goals in their team. Yeah, probably. When do we lift the cup? We lift it. Mattia should be going to the Lazio game. Is that our next game? Yeah, it is. So Mattia will be in Milan this time next week watching Inter Lazio, and he's going to do an awesome vlog for us. He'll send it to me, and I'll edit it, and I'll put it up here. If you haven't seen his vlog from last season where he went to watch Inter versus Atalanta, go and watch it. It's on this channel. It's dope. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. Full Circle Karma, episode 4, done. It went for an hour. Shout out to Ian and Debbie Kerr, my friends from Northern Ireland. Shout out to everybody who watched this stream. If you're still keen, we still have a giveaway competition going on where you can win some Marotta League merch, a couple of t-shirts. Sorry, a t-shirt. There's a couple of t-shirts for you that'll get sent out. So if you are interested, find the video that I did a couple of streams back with the thumbnail of the merchandise, comment on there. Or comment on this one and I'll still see it. Basically, leave a comment on any YouTube video or leave a comment on any Twitter saying that you want the shirt or you want the stuff or you want merch, whatever. And I will draw it later this week. It's Monday today. I'm hoping to have 3 or 4 winners by the end of this week, and I'll let everybody know on all platforms and the community tab on YouTube as well. Guys, thank you so much. If you are new, we had a high of 67 people. We've still got 62 now on all platforms, which is really cool. As I've said before, it's so nice knowing that I can hit record and there's going to be this sort of crowd every single time. Every single time. That's dope. Forza Mario. Thanks to everyone who came through to the chat. Big shout out to Wando. I respect rival fans that come on here because I'm always watching your fan channels, bro. I'm a big fan of them. I'm a big fan of Alberto and the all Juve cast that he does. I love watching Alejandro. I like watching G Just Juve. You know, I'm always involved in watching the fan channels because I do believe the fans give the best content. I do believe the fans give the best content. All right. Thanks, Ian, bro. Bless everybody. Yeah, shirt's dope. Shirt's dope. Links in the description, man. Links in the description to get one. Get your tricolore. Inter worldwide shirts, man. Ciao, ragazzi. Forza Inter.